Having some issues? Lauren will help you out with the assistance of our listeners. Let's do it. Get at Lauren.
It's the Y107 morning show. Our adder today, well, technically, we don't know that it's a girl. She doesn't say. But whoever this person is has a younger sibling, 17 years old, who has started drinking and getting into some pretty bad behavior with some friends that our adder calls bad influences. She or they have also heard that he has been harassing girls his age. So they're wondering, do I talk to my parents? Do I tell somebody? Do I call the police? What's the best way to deal with this?
Do I confront him and risk losing my friends and him maybe not trusting me ever again, whatever?
So looking at the best way to go about this, Hallie texted, has she tried talking to him? Harassing the girls is not okay, but a lot of people do drink underage. I would try talking to him first.
Okay. And I can understand that as a sibling, like pull him aside and go, look, bro, like, come on, man.
Because you also have to think, at 17, I don't know about you, but I would have been way more likely to listen to my sibling than I would my parents.
Right. But also at the same time, and let's just assume that the adder, when she was his age, maybe was doing some of the same things, and he just turns to her and is like, you did it. I can do it too. Nah, you're not my mom. You're not my parent.
But that would be an okay time to bring up the other behavior.
True.
It's not, maybe she doesn't have as much of a problem with the drinking as what he's doing when he's drinking.
Correct.
Or maybe the problem for them is with the drinking.
Right. So get at Lauren. You can text 800-500-Y107 or call us 441-Y107. What's up?
Okay, so as a parent of a situation similar, that sister will never forgive herself if she doesn't say something to her parents. And one day, somebody shows up at her door and lets them know that he's been in a car accident and the reason for it. She needs to say something discreetly and not worry about being a tattletale because his life may depend on it.
That's a very good point. There are consequences that come with drinking. Now, she didn't say that he'd been driving as well, but
that's going to happen sooner or later, most likely.
Not necessarily, but it definitely could.
But it could. If you
get it definitely could. And you never know the underlying reasons of why he is doing what he's doing.
Right.
He could be pressured into it or feel like he needs to do it around these people. And if he's feeling that way, then that's something as parents you need to know. You can't assume as a parent that all is well with your kids.
I agree wholeheartedly. Alcohol abuse starting at that age is usually not just like having fun with friends. There's something kind of serious that needs to be addressed.
And again, the fact that she took the time to add in the phrase in the sentence of harassing girls is also very concerning.
Right, and that will only get worse. If he thinks it's okay to do it, then it's not going to stop. It's going to continue.
Let's do it. Get at Lauren.
It's the Y107 morning show. Our adder has a 17-year-old brother, recently started drinking and engaging in some bad behavior, including harassing some girls his age. So the adder is like, yo, what do I do?
That's some pretty heavy
Do I talk to my parents? I don't want him to get in trouble. I don't want to lose my relationship with him. So just not really sure where to start with this one.
So call 441-Y107. Give your advice. You can text as well. 800-500-Y107. We've got Riley in Como.
Okay, so I have a younger brother who's within 2 years younger than me. And in our small town where we grew up, all the teens underage drank. So I knew that was going to be a thing with him. I did it when I was his age. So I understand that. And we have a close bond. So if I thought the drinking was a problem, I probably would have talked to him first about it. And I would straight up threaten him if he's harassing girls. Like, we hold ourselves to a higher standard. And if you are harassing women, that is not okay. So he's gotten a ride home from the cops before for getting in trouble with stuff. But I think he has to learn that himself. But also the harassing girls part is the biggest thing. Like, that is not okay.
So you think that our adder should really take it into her own hands and put a stop to it?
if I were her, I would talk to him directly and just give him a little bit of advice, and I would threaten my brother if I found that out. Like, I was friends with his friends too, and it's not okay for any of them, and they should be better than that.
Okay.
At what point do the parents get involved, or does she start with just her first and then?
Oh, yeah. If he doesn't listen to me, then I'm straight up going to my parents, and they will put him in his place 100%. And then at that point, you just risk losing that trust with him, but you went to him first, so that's how you try and keep your trust with him. Look, I'm trying to help you out here, but if you don't listen to me, this is what I'm going to do.
Well, and my thought is that with maturity, if you lose his trust as you guys grow up together, he's going to be like, no, she might have been a little bit right.
Yeah. He's going to understand that later on down the road what you were doing for him.
Having some issues? Lauren will help you out with the assistance of our listeners. Let's do it. Get at Lauren.
It is the Y107 Morning Show. What do you do when your 17-year-old brother is engaging in bad behavior? He's been drinking. He's been possibly, reportedly harassing girls. What do you do? Talk to your family? Talk to your brother? What do you do? We've got Matt on the phone. Matt, what do you think?
I think the adder needs to have a serious sit-down conversation with the brother. I hate to say this, but I can admit it. You know, I started drinking at that age, and I'm about to turn 50, and by the time I was 19, I was, drunk in public, and 21, got my first DUI. It's a serious conversation that we need to find out. If he was socially drinking at 17, well, there's a little bit of difference there. The fact, though, is that his attitude, his actions, and so on don't sound of that of a normal, hey, we're having a drink. But then again, he's 17. But I say she sits down and has a serious conversation now, because if she doesn't, she's going to regret it. I mean, just plain and simple. It's a family love here. I just don't want to see this kid sit there and go down a path that he's not able to control. And in today's society, it's a lot easier than it was 30 years. So, and that's just my opinion, but I'm not saying the kid's an alcoholic. What I'm saying, though, is that if we don't look at the consequences and his actions now, then there's a possibility this could actually snowball into a giant avalanche.
Right. And not saying he's an alcoholic now, but we hesitate to label people under 21 as alcoholics, but sometimes they are. They're still abusing alcohol.
Well, and honestly, I'm in the program, and I can tell you that we even have a young people's group here in Columbia, and they're 16-year-olds. There's college kids. It's mainly high schoolers and college kids. It's called the YPG group, Young People's Group. Yeah. And so I mean there are options, but let's have a sit down and let's find out before it's ending in tragedy or alcohol poisoning or kills himself or hurts a girl or blacks out. I've gone through all that age. And I wish somebody would have helped me. I didn't get help till I was in my 30s, and it's.
Well, good for you on your recovery. Congratulations.
Man. That's amazing.
Well, I appreciate it. I just thought somebody needed to call up from this point of view and just say, hey, there's a possibility that let's talk before it's tragedy. That's kind of a good way of saying it.
Text at Lauren now. 800-500-Y107.